Hi guys, welcome to another tutorial. Today we're gonna test out the new Createx Wicked Opaque line and we're starting right now. Right, so the first thing that is so special about the new Wicked Opaques is that they cover at their brightest on any base coat. So even on black I can spray any of these colors and they will look at their brightest at a certain point. So if you want to paint a very bright color on top of a black base coat, then you would have to go with white on top first and then go over it with your color to get it as bright as possible. Because if you spray most opaques and especially transparents, if you paint them on a black surface, they will appear darker. And that's the special thing about these opaques. These will stay as bright as they are in the bottle, so you will get a lot of contrast and you just skip the mid coat with white. So by not having to apply white on black first, you can just spray these straight from the bottle onto black and they will get really bright. So we basically skip one step, which makes lure painting a lot quicker. Now let me show you guys what I mean. I'm gonna start with a little bit of opaque bismuth yellow vanadate and I'm gonna add one little drop of reducer here. So if you want to have good coverage on black, don't use too much reducer, unless if you're doing a fire or something and you want to really fade it out a little and get different tones of yellow on there, then it's good to reduce it a little bit more. But if you're just trying to get a nice coverage on top of a black, don't reduce it too much. Now we got our lure. I'm gonna spray from the back towards the front in an angle. I will cover almost the entire lure. So as you can see, I did not use a white undercoat or mid coat. I just sprayed this Wicked Opaque yellow straight on top of the black, and as you can see, that already underneath the stencil even looks super bright for a yellow. So the contrast on this lure is gonna be amazing. Now to make it even more interesting, I'm also gonna take a little bit of the opaque red, and I haven't cleaned my airbrush out yet, so I'm gonna take the red now, and I'm actually gonna reduce these a lot more than I should. That is about 70% reducer. I'm gonna mix that with the leftovers of the yellow in my chamber. So, and I over reduced this so that we get a nice transition from the yellow to the red. And now I'm gonna spray a little bit of red in the opposite direction. Like so. I just played around a little bit with this. I haven't tried this before myself, but I do expect that this is gonna give a really nice contrast, a really warm pattern on that black. And as you can see, that contrast, that how lifelike this pattern is unbelievable. Like the dimension of what we just painted is incredible with not using any white on top of the black. We just sprayed pure Wicked Opaques onto a black, and because they cover this well, you get this extreme high contrast, which looks amazing. Another great thing you can do with the new Wicked Opaques is texturizing on a black base coat. So I got some Wicked Opaque Limelight Green in my chamber, and I'm gonna add about 50% reducer for this one. And now first I'm gonna take a small texturizing stencil and I'm just gonna add some random texture on my lure. Just some random dots. As you can see, these already stick out from the black very well. There's high contrast going on from the beginning, which is really great with this paint. Now I'm gonna take this bigger one and I'm gonna put a little heavier dots on there. So as you can see, I don't need any white to get a high contrasting color on top of that black, which makes the Createx Opaque paints so cool and so useful. And you don't need to do this on a black, you can do it on whatever color these colors will maintain their color, and that's the cool thing. That's the point of these paints. They are so opaque and their coverage is so well that it doesn't matter what color is underneath, you will get the color that is the color that you see in the bottle. That's the color of the paint. It doesn't get affected by any paint underneath, so you can get really cool textures, really nice patterns straight from the bottle with these paints. And so you're skipping that one step of applying that white paint in between two colors. And another great thing you can do with these paints immediately is that you can use them as a base coat. So you're skipping again using that white base coat and then going on top with a color. You can just take these straight out of the bottle and spray those on your lure, and they will have a colorized base coat from the beginning. So you're again skipping that step with the white. So I got some Wicked Opaque Pyrrole Red in my chamber now, and I'm gonna give this lure a base coat with that. So as you can see, you can use these straight out of the bottle just as a base coat as well. This is a nice red base coat. Normally I would have to do a white first and then take a red and go over that white with a red to get this kind of color, but now I just use the Wicked Opaque Pyrrole Red and you can immediately use it as a base coat. I left the belly clear because I'm going to try a special effect on this one that I never tried before. I'm gonna finish this lure and then I'm gonna show you the result. So the great thing about these Wicked Opaque paints is that you don't need any mid coat. Here's another example. Here I used Wicked Opaque Daylight Blue straight on top of this orange glitter, and as you can see the blue is perfectly blue, just as it's supposed to be, and there is no white underneath or in between the glitter and the blue. The coverage of these paints is insane and it works really well. So guys, to sum this all up, this Wicked Opaque line is really great for lure painting if you're doing high contrast lure patterns, if you're doing fins or other details that need to stick out and you want to skip that white undercoat step. Then these paints are really great. So I hope you learned something. I will leave a link in the description below where you can buy these paints. If you have any questions about these paints or other lure painting subjects, let me know in the comments down below. And if you haven't liked and subscribed yet, make sure you do that because I will be posting new footage every week. Thank you for watching guys, have a nice day and bye bye.